and £12,000 to win 60,000. Big bets for Distant Prospect. Is then 10 to 1 Supreme Sovereign, Supreme Serenade, 12 to 1 Dancing Bay, Fountain Hill clipped into 12 to 1 along with El Namar, who was 92 to 1 on the tote when it won it 3 years ago, 14 to 1 Kashtari, and big price against the rest female. This Distant Prospect. Huge bets here on the course for it on your machine.
Unprecedented amounts of money on it on the machine as well, as you call it, Mac. Coral Cup favourites got £500,000 placed on it. Biggest price laid was 11 to 2, and of course it was 6 to 1 this
6 to 1 this morning, yeah.
Each way horse creeping in. Omni Cosmo Touch, certain stay of him. Negative for Dancing Bay, but it's Distant Prospect and Covent Garden that are soaking up all the money.
This will be a terrible blow for bookmakers after Moscow Flyer if Distant Prospect can win the Coral Cup.
Come on, no Moscow!
Yeah, just turning into, as Max said, a bit of a disco for a second there here at Cheltenham. Let's just check the eye catchers as they begin to make their way to the course. Supreme Serenade, Lillian Bicot, positives in the paddock. On the way down, Covent Garden looked excellent, Nick. In the betting ring, Distant Prospect, Covent Garden positives, and Distant Prospect and Covent Garden on the exchanges as well. So quite a gamble here on Distant Prospect, who's won a huge handicap on the flat in the past. The Cesarewitch has run, just seems to go very well in these strongly run big field races as they come out. Trying to pick out his early position, Distant Prospect, if you followed the money. Drying up here at Prestbury Park, 1 or 2 a bit keen, and that was never going to work. So,
I wasn't even on the rostrum.
Starter saying he wasn't even to the top of his platform. Covent Garden there on the right. Ilnamar and Timmy Murphy.
Take them off the board, go on. Take them right out.
Sean McDonald sending them all back like naughty schoolboys.
Fix this hip, and next time you're going to walk in.
I'm going to tell them to come back in again. Absolutely locked together, GB and Ireland, after 9 races at the festival. So we've had a French winner. Mac is down in the ring.
Languid down here. Languid definitely. The officers are coming in and piling into Distant Prospect. Is now Burlington Bertie 100 to 30, and some bookmakers are going only 3 to 1 against Distant Prospect. Burlington, that's the return at the moment.
So we're going to have take 2 here. They're going right back into the collecting area and come out in hopefully a more orderly fashion. This is Ilnamar, who won in 2002, won it impressively as well. He hasn't stood a lot of racing since then. Here we go again.
Walk in front, walk! Wait.
That is You Owe Me, who rather departed from the pack. And they actually started in a pretty good line after all of that as they jump away for this Coral Cup towards the first flight. You Owe Me and Royal Liti with the grey Cascari handy. Tumbling Dice is also up with the pace, and After 8 in the pale blue jacket on the near side is handy. Nose banded Red Ruffles is just in behind them with Fountain Hill on the near side in yellow as this huge field charges on towards the second flight. And it's You Owe Me that leads over that from Royal Liti in the black and yellow diamonds. After 8 on the right in the dark jacket Tumbling Dice, and then Castari, followed by Fountain Hill. Ebin Zaid is next, Red Ruffles, and then Idole first. Ilnamar towards the inside to make the long turn at the bottom end. Jack Dawson is wide of Mythical King then, followed by Lockdur. They're very closely grouped together in the midfield there. Can you just see a red cap horse and a noseband in midfield? Blue jacket, that's Distant Prospect. Try and get a clearer ident on the well-back Distant Prospect in a moment or two. Out the back at this stage, Top Strategy, with also Sharp Rigging, one of the back markers, and Zibberline is perhaps last of all. Supreme Serenade just on the left of frame, red and white jacket, she's right out the back as well. You Owe Me from Tumbling Dice and Cascari over the next, Royal Liti, and then Ebin Zaid and Fountain Hill over on the inside, followed through by Idole first and Jack Dawson, and on the near side the red and white jacket as we close in on the leader, You Owe Me, and Carl Llewellyn as they make the long run now towards the next flight of hurdles before they have to go out on one more circuit. And it's You Owe Me from Cascari in second place. Then Tumbling Dice is third, after 8 on the inside of Royalty, followed by Ebin Zaid and Jack Dawson. Wider is Mythical King, none wider than Omni Cosmo Touch, who's got a white face. And then behind the leaders it's Il Namar, followed back behind these by Ansar and then Mr. Fluffy. Distant Prospect still deep buried in the midfield just wide of Dancing Bay. Then Give Me Love from Lillian de Cotte and Royal Hector, Loch Derg and Omni Cosmo Touch, and Covent Garden well down at the moment from Supreme Serenade. Then Anatar, Fairwood Present, Spring Pursuit, Shark Rigging, Top Strategy, and finally Zibelline. Running towards the back straight, they're still well grouped together here. It's not a scorching pace for such a big field, but it's You Owe Me that continues to lead the way to Cascari and Tumbling Dice on the inside. Royalty is fourth, Ebin Zaid is fifth, wide of after 8, followed by Fountain Hill and Il Namar and Idole first, and then out wide Jack Dawson of Ansar and Dancing Bay cutting every corner up the inside. Distant Prospect is next as they clear that flight of hurdles from then Give Me Love. Back behind these Fairwood Present on the inside from Top Strategy. Out the back Loch Derg is under pressure. Supreme Serenade still out the back under a patient ride together with Sharp Rigging, Spring Pursuit also at the back Anatar. And dropping right out now is Omni Cosmo Touch, heading towards the next then. And You Owe Me has got company, Cascari, Tumbling Dice and Tidy Landing in fourth place there. And it's You Owe Me, Cascari the Grey, Royalty on the outside, a line of 3 as they make this top turn now. Tumbling Dice remains in fourth place from after 8. Then Ebin Zaid, followed by Ansar. Dancing Bay has now been pulled to the outside by Mick Fitzgerald, jumping that flight. Dancing Bay making some headway now as they run up the hill. Back behind them, Distant Prospect on the inside in about 10th. That blue jacket, red cap, nose banded runner. Distant Prospect improving as Royalty now leads the way at the top of the hill. Tumbling Dice goes second. The early leader, You Owe Me, is now relegated back to third. Now, where are the late runners coming from? We've got Ansar, Dancing Bay, Sharp Rigging, Yellow Sleeves is making headway. After 8 is behind these with Fountain Hill. Then Fairwood Present trying for a daring run up the inside as they run down towards the third last. Royalty from Tumbling Dice, then Dancing Bay still looking dangerous. Sharp Rigging on the outside, followed by Fountain Hill. Behind these then is Idole first, the red and white jacket, then Ansar. Distant Prospect now coming under pressure. They run down towards the second last, and Tumbling Dice just wavering towards Dancing Bay. Sharp Rigging is the faller there when bang alongside, and it's Tumbling Dice left in front from Dancing Bay as they round the final turn. They're chased in third by Idole first, then Royalty, and then Fountain Hill, and after 8 as they race to the final flight, Tumbling Dice, Dancing Bay. Idole first is pulled wide. Tumbling Dice just lands ahead Dancing Bay, but Idole first runs on very strongly in the red and white jacket on the near side and seems to have their measure, and it's Idole first now that kicks away from Dancing Bay, and up the hill Idole first, and Alan O'Keefe riding for Venetia Williams wins the Coral Cup, and Alan O'Keefe salutes the crowd. Dancing Bay is second, in third Tumbling Dice, then Covent Garden late headway for fourth from after 8. Fairwood Present, and then Royalty, Fountain Hill. Distant Prospect in the end about 10th or 11th only from Lillian de Cotte and Mythical King and Supreme Serenade. They trailed back in the end to Il Namar, Red Ruffles, Ebin Zaid, and Anatar was just about the last to complete. A jubilant Alan O'Keefe on Idole first, his first festival winner here, riding for Venetia Williams. Slightly muted reception as he came up the hill because this wouldn't have been the most popular of fancies in this race, though he is a horse that's got plenty of good form. Well, there was a turning point at the second last. Sharp Rigging taking quite a heavy fall there, right alongside Tumbling Dice at the time. Jimmy McCarthy, the horse just stepping at the flight, going at full pelt there, and Jimmy McCarthy sent Tumbling from the horse just that he had every chance of winning. Hopefully Sharp Rigging will be all right. And we hear that Jimmy McCarthy is up on his feet, and there he is walking back towards the enclosures.
Well, young Alan O'Keefe with me now. Many congratulations. Great reception from the crowd.
Thanks very much, yeah. I mean, just got slightly outpaced down the back, and you know, it just takes time to get going. He got going very well. You know, it's brilliant for the trainer and the owner involved. You know, and get a chance to ride a good horse is unbelievable. And, you know, and he's been, I've looked at, always ridden him out and everything, and he's just a star. You know.
What about for you, a young jockey now having your first winner here at the festival? I mean, I suppose you've watched this forever, haven't you?
Yeah, I watched it forever. I was second yesterday cross country race. You know, I thought, oh no, you know, but to do it now, it's just brilliant. You know.
You've done it. Go and enjoy it.
Thanks.
Dole first, the double carpet 33 to 1 and 22 to 1 chance generally this morning returned. The 33 to 1 Cove 14th favourite at 5. Cove 14th at 5, Dole first. The runner-up, Dancing Bay, was a 14 to 1 chance. Tumbling Dice was third, sent off at 16 to 1. Good each-way support rewarded for Covent Garden. The sponsors were 25 this morning, returned 14 to 1 Covent Garden, and most bookmakers except for Hills, Stanley's and Ladbrokes will pay on the 5th horse after 8, double carpet 33 to 1 after 8 if you're on each way. The distance was 5 lengths and 6 lengths, and that, Dole first, is the longest price winner in 12 runnings of the Coral Cup. What's Up Boys was also double carpet 33 to 1 5 years ago, and Ilnamar was a 25 to 1 chance 3 years ago. But 33 to 1 relief for the bookmakers. If they are not now on the Dole after Moscow Flyer. They needed that double carpet winner, Dole first.
Well, a great festival first for Alan O'Keefe, Venetia Williams' first hurdles winner at the festival. And this is what it meant to Alan O'Keefe as he came across the line in the Coral Cup on Idole first. A major moment. He would have known that this was it. That's what it's all about. All those years slogging away. He's been making a good impression, and now he's walked on the biggest stage of all. He is ecstatic.